I read a lot of great books in 2016. Here's a few that were especially interesting and you might want to consider. String Theory by David Foster Wallace. Tennis is kind of amazing. They're interesting personalities and incredible play. The more you know about it, the more you are impressed with those people playing at the top level. It requires a lot of concentration. I loved him talking about his tennis career and being slammed into the fence and being a little bit modest about how he just sort of grinded it out. If you're going to read one tennis book, this is probably the best. Then a great company story, which is Shoe Dog by Phil Knight. It's a really well-written story about Nike. It's amazingly honest, and the company almost didn't succeed. It points out the unusual characteristics of the key people who help the company succeed. I think there's tons of people who would find it an interesting story about how business really works and personnel management really works. A political book, Myth of a Strong Leader by Archie Brown. It's a really good book because it looks at styles of leadership. I think he's right that there's a big danger, both in the corporate world and government, about this individual who embodies all things and he's just doing it largely himself. And leaders who don't listen can get more and more isolated. Mandela, in his own way, was very collaborative, trying to draw people in. He understood that he was going to step down, and so he wanted to build up the capacity for his successor. A book called The Grid by Gretchen Bakke. She teaches us about the history of the grid, how it got built up piece by piece. She talks about how it's becoming critical not only for reliability, but to deal with these intermittent energy sources that are in very different locations than the actual uses of the power. So the grid's going to have to be dramatically better in the future. The Gene, an Imminent History by Siddhartha Mukherjee. He did such a good job on the history. He really tells you what the gene is. There's three big domains that genetic technology helps in. One is plants, the other is livestock, and the third is humans. Some countries may be very liberal at letting parents edit genes related to beauty or intelligence. It'll get people up to the point where they can participate in that debate, which will be fairly intense over the next 10 or 20 years. Loved reading these books, and I hope a few of them are books that you'll enjoy.